worry, this is actually being streamed onto our private Facebook group, so not into the public. And you're also totally welcome to join there if you want to follow up and connect with us after this to ask more questions as well. So yeah, welcome everybody. So we have Francesca, Claudia, and Candice have joined today. I've got a little bit of background from Candice. Thank you so much. Excited to see if I can answer some of your questions today. Claudia, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh, you're on mute there.
Audio. L'audio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, no, well, who is, okay. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm a retreat leader and I work together with Francesca. We were in Ibiza and it was really a great event. And I'm curious to understand how we can collaborate together with YouLi.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay.
Good to have you. And yes, absolutely. That event, Synergy, was an amazing place to connect. And I feel like we're going to feel the ripples of that event for much of the year. And we're already starting to contemplate, like, how can we make sure we're in Mexico in October next year? And Candice, welcome. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Candice. My background is in travel and hospitality, and I'm just starting my new brand, doing wellness retreats, working with astrology and nature. And yeah, I'm like literally doing my website right now, and I'm over it because that's not my forte. And I need systems that are going to make my life easier and, not harder. So I'm excited.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, I'm looking forward to being a part of that solution, hopefully a relatively large one. But yeah, I'm really excited to sort of support you guys through the process of discovering the YouLi technology platform. So, one of the things I do want to just emphasize here, this demo is for you guys. So if I'm saying something and I'm not making any sense, just put up your hand, put a comment, say something, slow me down. I don't mind saying it again, or you can ask a clarifying question. This is your time, not my time, right? So please let me make sure I'm supporting you guys properly. I can get in product mode and get into details, but I also recognize that the important thing is making sure in this session, you understand kind of the breadth of what we can do. And then you're all very welcome to book in one-on-one conversations with us as well to dig into like, how can we meet your specific needs if we don't have time on today's call? So with that, also, I'm not sure if you guys saw my session at Synergy or not, but one of the main takeaways that I wanted to emphasize there is that you don't have to be techie in order for technology to empower you. So, the first thing is just to recognize that it's a tool like anything else out there. You don't have to be a master of it in order to make it work, right? Most of us have no idea how credit cards work, but we managed to make them work for us, right? And so I think just sort of recognizing, there's some fundamental things to learn, some basic things, and then finding the right guides on your tech journey is really the important thing. So we strive to be a very human-centered platform. So our goal is to make our technology accessible to you, but we also work with you on a consulting basis if you need additional assistance. And we have lots of partners who also provide those services as well. So if you're over it and you just want to hand it to somebody else, you can absolutely do that. So I just want to emphasize that as I'm showing you various things in YouLi, some of our clients have like online business managers do the setup for them, and they just kind of, pop in every once in a while. And some of our clients are all in and they just jump in and they bounce around, and YouLi is their platform. So you can use it in either capacity and you can use it in a mixed way as well. So the other thing to emphasize is that you start with a piece and then you build another piece and you build another piece. So, you don't have to eat the elephant all at once. You just kind of, just one fork at a time, take your time with this. And at each step of the way, we'll help you in making sure that we're sort of creating value for your business as you roll out pieces of technology. So with all of that background said, oh, sorry, was there a question?
Yeah, and just a simple question already. Yeah, I was thinking to Spanish people. In Spain, not so many people speaks English. And already the first question is, there is the possibility to have the platform that switch different languages?
So we don't currently do an automated switch, but you can customize the vast majority of the content on the pages. And so you could publish Spanish language versions of your events. So I will qualify with that, but yeah, it's a great question. And it's something that we hope to get to the point where we have enough Spanish language clients that we can implement that kind of solution. But for the moment, you would need to be the one to create that content. Is that what you meant, that you wanted it to be like auto translated between English and Spanish?
No, just really to, you can sometimes in any platform, you can say like, okay, you choose the language in which you talk. Is not only because the event, we have always it in 2 languages or 3 sometimes, Italian, Spanish, English. And because even for simple things, I use a platform for personalization on the instance, and it's in English, and sometimes I have to tell them, click the button that says this word.
Yeah.
Not the door.
So I think what we would recommend is that you do a version that's in Spanish for when you're targeting the Spanish customers in that case. So I can show you potentially a little bit of that, where you can kind of customize those pages. I'm not sure if I have a live example of that, but we can follow up with you and share. We do have some clients in Mexico that use the platform, so I can share with you kind of how they use it.
And Francesca, most buttons that you have in the platform themselves, you can actually customize the word, so you can enter it in Spanish. So rather than say book now, it will say the same thing in Spanish. So we'll have one copy for Spanish-speaking clients, another copy for English-speaking clients, and you'll just send them differently.
Okay, so I should use two different links, or one platform in Spanish and one for the platform in English, or if I need another one for platform in Italian, for example.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, good question. All right, starting off with the hard ones. Love it. All right, so I also wanted to emphasize who we are. So we have an About Us page here. We kind of tell a bit of our story in terms of where we came from. And, I am a product of the transformational power of travel. So we actually tested the platform when we launched it in 2016 on our destination wedding to Jordan. So that's a whole nother story, which I'm happy to share sometime if you're interested. But really what came out of all of that is just my desire to use my capabilities in building online platforms to empower the creators of experiences, yourself, so that you can transform the travelers that you're delivering your experiences to. So very much, as much as we're a tech platform, our mission is really to empower you so that you continue to create the transformation that I have experienced personally that travel can deliver. So with that in mind, let's get down to some details. So we are a booking and retreat management platform. So we're more than just a booking platform. We also do the management side of that. And so I'm just going to walk through these little cards here and kind of give you some examples around that. So we strive to be an all-in-one solution for these sort of group retreat management, but we also recognize that, platforms have their limits. And so we definitely also integrate into other platforms as well. So we can talk about that once we kind of get through these core features. So first thing is we make it really easy for you to launch beautiful sales pages with booking capabilities in them. And so Candace, I know you said you're over your website stuff. So I'm hoping this will be a solution to some of the challenges that you're facing. So this is an example of a sales page that's been created by one of our clients. Sam Keller runs Working Without Borders. And so he does retreats that teach families how to live abroad with their children. And so this is a sales page kind of inspired by the curriculum that Wanderlust Entrepreneur teaches in terms of how a sales page should be structured to sell retreats effectively. So as you can see, beautiful imagery. These pages, he has to do is create the itinerary and we automatically put it together. So he doesn't have to deal with any page editing. So you're not actually building a website, you're just entering data and then we format it for you. So you don't have to deal with all of the sort of website annoyance and you can just focus on the content. So this is one of the styles that we do, but we also have another style. And then of course, everything here is customized to your coloring and all these buttons. So you see that button, all this language, all this text is all entered by you. So if you want this to say something else in any other language, feel free. People change this button to say book now or get the last spot or I'm in, right? So use the language that's appropriate for your audience. And that's actually going to convert the people that you're trying to speak to, right? Because we don't know, they're your customers and you know what's going to resonate with them. So we give you that space to create these beautiful sales pages. And then on those pages, you can create optional experiences as well. So they can add things on, or they can just book into the base package, right? And so here you can see he's got 2 packages here, and this one only has 3 left, and this one has 1 left. And you can provide details about those different packages. Again, completely customizable. So really powerful. You don't build this, you just enter. I want to offer poolside condo for $10,700 and I've got 2 of them, right? So you give us the inventory and the content and we put it here and we make this activated so that they can interact with that and pay for it. So in addition to just making a beautiful sales page, which is that sort of marketing piece, it's that sort of like, what is it that I'm buying and what can I buy here? We also make sure that these are all mobile optimized. So this works on desktop, it works on iPad, it works on your iPhone. This is the web version of it, but we also have a mobile app for Android and Apple, and this is included in all of our premium plans. So it is branded to us. Normally we like to be behind the scenes, like you wouldn't know that YouLi made this site, but unfortunately the way the app stores work, it has to be our brand. But so far we found that customers engage with that really well. And as you can see inside the app itself, so this is an example from Run Wild Retreats, the content is branded to you. So that continues to have your brand and reinforce that with your customers. So one thing I do want to emphasize when we talk about us as a platform, we are not a marketplace. We are your software provider. So we don't own your data. We don't own your content, right? We're not Facebook. We're not any of these people out there trying to take your lists or take your content. So our job is to make you look as good as possible and disappear into the background. Your travelers shouldn't know who we are as much as possible. Yeah, and so this is something that can be quite powerful, but I also want to emphasize that we consider the mobile app to be still a feature for pre-trip preparation and getting things done, and to limit usage on the trips themselves, because we do believe that transformational experiences tend to not be on the phone. So I do want to emphasize that this is not essential to the experience. At Synergy, you would have used the app. And I think at conferences, it can be really useful because there's a lot of information flying around. But definitely one of those things where you want to sort of choose whether or not the app is actually right for your experiences at the event. And actually Run Wild Retreats makes one of the things that you do is pledge to run mindfully and sustainably. And so one of the things they have you pledge beforehand is that you don't take technology with you on the runs, right? Stuff like that. So just again, recognizing that technology is not the point. It's serving us to get our people prepared to go on these experiences. And then I wanted to dig in a little bit more into the pricing packages and payment options. So, we talked about this a little bit here in terms of these 2 packages here, but I'm actually also going to show you another way of interacting with it. This is called our checkout flow. So you're going to detect a theme here, and the theme is you can do lots of different things with YouLi. So what I showed you before was a page that has what's called a register to pay. So he wants people to express interest, probably because he's selling $10,000 things and he knows that maybe they're not just going to buy right away. So he does an expression of interest. This page is for someone who says, I don't want to know who they are until they're ready to book. So she sends them to this page and says, when you're ready to buy, then it's time for you to fill out the registration form, pick your package, and go through the process all together. So this is her registration form. These are her add-ons. And these are the options for payment. You can either do a payment schedule or pay in full. You can either choose credit card, or you can save credit card fees by paying via wire transfer. This is where, for example, with that Spanish sort of direct payment method, you can put any instructions you want in here as to how your customers can pay you, and they can avoid the surcharge that you add onto the credit card. So this is a really, really powerful feature. And this is something that if you book into the Pro plan before the end of November, you'll actually unlock at the Pro level. So normally that's a venture level feature, but we're actually offering it to pros through the end of November. You don't pay a booking fee with us, and you don't pay credit card fees. So this is an incredibly important way to save money for you and for your customers if you pass on that fee. So this is what we call checkout flow. As you can see, it's kind of all in one, but it doesn't give you the details of the event, right? So here is like a page where you can kind of explore and really get into it. And you can link out to the Facebook. There's a lot of distracting things here. So this is more of like an educational tool. But if you have a flow that just takes them straight in, then you can take them straight to a checkout page that looks like this. They can pick which room they want. They can fill out their form. They can check the box, and then they can pay, and then they're immediately booked onto the trip. So there's no register, then be prompted to pay. It's just straight on to pay. And then one other example I wanted to give here in terms of not necessarily different payment methods, but the fact that you can actually run online courses using the platform. So these are pages, these are landing pages. You can put any content you want on here. You can put welcome videos, you can put modules, and you can charge for those. So you can have just the online course is $1,000, but maybe the course plus a 2-day retreat at the end is $1,700, right? So that's a way that you can kind of sell to those different audiences, the ones who just want to do an online experience and those who want to complete the online experience with an in-person event at the end. And of course, you can split that up so you can have the retreat separate from the online course. But this is an example of how you could kind of mix them together. So I'll take a quick breath there and then see if you guys have any questions on what I've shown you so far. Yeah, Candace.
You mentioned there was another type of style
Yes.
to the page.
Yeah, actually, and so
for the
we're
sales
looking at,
page.
yeah, we're looking at it here. So it's that the company logo is up in the corner. You've got the banner across the top, and then you have the menu along the side. So the sales page has the menu across the top, and you'll notice that the coloring, he set it so that it's sort of a white background with his green coloring there, and then everything's kind of a bit longer. Does that make sense? So it's a bit more scrolling this way, whereas on this one, it's a bit more sort of navigating the menu on the left. And then there's also the prompt to load an app here. So those are our two core sort of templates, and we certainly are open to conversations about alternative template styles, but we usually recommend that people kind of get started with these core templates and get their content in and focus on that. And then if it's really essential to explore additional sort of styles, then that's something we sort of say, look, focus on getting people the information that they need. Oftentimes people spend too much time on like where the things are for the purposes of a portal like this. So actually, I would love to show you kind of, let's just jump over to this one. So I want to show you a sort of way of thinking about the difference between your website and your YouLi trip pages. So, this is let's try that again. Thank you. And here. So here we have an example of a website, right? So that we didn't build this, although we do build some websites, and I'll show you some examples of that later. But this is an example of Lotus Sojourns. And you can see here that she has a particular style on her website, right? And so if we click into, I think it is this one. And now she has a landing page that just is completely in her style, right? With the trip overview. But then when you click on the Book Now button, that's when it takes you out to the YouLi experience and it prompts you to book. So here you can see that there's this transition from the sort of marketing of the website to the like, okay, you're ready to go. Now you're going to fill out a form and we're going to take you through a registration process. This could also be the checkout flow. So just sort of recognizing that there's two different journeys that you can take people on. But the thing I really want to emphasize is this is the most typical way that customers integrate with their websites between their site and YouLi is the Book Now button. There are other ways as well, but this is typically the most common. So the upside to this is you completely control what this page looks like on your website, right? So you completely control that template. And then we take care of all the logistics of the form itself, right? So completing this form and like making sure that this is all working properly, right? So we make sure that that process is really smooth, and then that data actually goes into your trip CRM, which I'll show you in a little bit. So this is that transition from the website to the trip page. In this case, you see that YouLi domain is still showing there, but we do actually do white labeled versions of that so that this can actually be a subdomain of yours. Now it's a little bit extra, but that is something that we can certainly add if you feel that's important for your brand. But you'll notice that this is all, this is Lotus Sojourns, her banner, her color. So these are all the same templates, but because the branding is different and because the content is different, the pages feel quite different depending on which of these retreats you're exploring. And so here's a version with the highlights, and then you can break down the details of the itinerary here, and you can sort of look day by day. We do all that for you automatically. So you just enter the data, we create all of this interactive sort of experience for your travelers, and we create these invoices for them automatically. And you get to choose what these are labeled and whether or not they're shown. So you can control how many menu items are here on the left. So you can choose to just have a landing page with highlights and capture expressions of interest. You can give them detailed itinerary or not, right? You can be in brochure mode, which means that you're not actually collecting payments, or you can turn on bookings mode and start taking payments, and you can choose whether or not these appear as well. So this is an example of the content and how it connects to the website. But I want to show you the fact it's how it connects to her website that she's built somewhere else. If you're not in the mood to build a website and you need a starter website, we do also do that. And this is an example of what Lotus Sojourns sort of starter website would look like. And this has an embed of her Arctic sojourn embedded on it. So this is just an example of something that's really simple. It's got a home and about, a contact, terms and conditions, privacy policy, and links out to social. And very importantly, it has this. So this is something that everybody gets on the YouLi platform, which is the ability to give their travelers a link to find their trip. So at any time, remember, these are portals that are private to your customers. So they can always go here, type in their email address, get a link, and then they get access to their trip page, and they can see how much they've paid, what optional items they've added, what tasks have been completed, and if there's any changes to the schedule. So this is a really powerful aspect of YouLi because we're not just a booking platform. We actually create these traveler portals, which are highly functional and personalized to the customer. So I'm just going to jump back to the other screen.
Jen, while you're jumping, I'm going to add a couple of things about the website building. So Candice, for you probably specifically as well, since you work in the website, as a team, we provide two options for building your website. One, which is super easy. It's a starter website that you just enter your data and it builds for you. It's really part of the YouLi Premium package. You don't have to do any extra work, and that's what you just saw. And another option is actually when we sit down with you, talk to the designer, talk to the team, and build a custom website. Of course, that's a different money already, so if you have the budget to build that, we can talk about this separately. That's a separate conversation. We can build it very much customized to your brand, the way you see it, the different pages. That's kind of a premium one. But to start it, you don't have to do that all. You can start with a very simple essential, what we call the essential or starter website. That includes what Jen just showed, the legal things that you have to have, right? The terms and conditions, the privacy policy, and it will have the contact information for you so you can always get in touch with your clients. You can also start with that, order another one while the first one is the starter website is on, and then the data will be transferred. So what people usually have the problem with is I'm building my website. That means while I'm building it, which takes a month, 2 months, maybe more, they have nothing to show. The solution that we're offering for that is start with the basic one, build your advanced, like premium luxury website that you want, but while you're building it, have something to show to people as a starter website. And then when that one is ready, we'll transfer the data and we'll transfer the link into the premium website. Does that make sense?
And that's why what you saw, like Lotus has their, customized website that they've built, but I showed you the sort of starter version, right? And so they've transitioned from the starter into their sort of custom designed version of it. So as you can see, lots of different options, but what we typically find, because a lot of customers already have some kind of website already in existence, is that they want to integrate with it. And so it is just as easy as clicking to share a trip, click on integrate with website, and then you copy this little website snippet, you go into your website, paste it into the HTML embed widget on your website, and it will automatically populate with content like this. So I'll show you a real world example. This is Run Wild Retreats, and they have a lot of retreats. So here you can see these are all YouLi trips, but this is on their website. So this is embedded into their website. So Candice, this might be an option that you might want to explore if you're already, building on another platform and you want to not have to build lots of landing pages for every single one of your every one of your trips. You can actually just take that one piece of code that I showed you previously, pop it in here, and then we will automatically take all of your public and listed trips and show them here whenever this page gets loaded. So you don't have to worry anymore about taking trips down when they are passed, because we handle that for you. You can just check a box or uncheck a box and it will appear or disappear from your website. So it's a really much easier way of kind of managing your inventory on your website, is to just put this embed onto your website and then just manage your trips in YouLi and turn them on and off, and they'll automatically age out once the date is passed. What do you guys think in terms of the different options that I've shown you in terms of clicking the book now button versus like this embed style? Which one do you think you'd be more leaning towards?
Okay, I try to. I'm downloading the information still. I think both are interesting. I would, yeah, I would. I'm trying to imagine how it could be the old page do it through YouLi, but the first option, yeah, to start with just the book now button. For me, yeah, it could be the start, as you said before, the start point, and then little by little seeing how it goes, or how to rebuild the page.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really smart. I think because that's another thing in terms of thinking about how to use YouLi, is that you don't have to adopt, as you can see, Run Wild Retreats has been with us for 3 years. So her entire business runs on YouLi, right? So all of this is all hosted within the YouLi platform. You will probably start with just one retreat. And so just to see what that would look like, for Working Without Borders, they currently have just the one retreat with multiple departure dates. And so that's what this looks like on their site when it's embedded. So they just have the one embedded, and it just takes up the space that you give it. So if you give it a little bit of space, it'll be small, and if you give it bigger space, then it's bigger like this. So this is another example, when you're just sort of doing one, how that can kind of be embedded. And then if you change any of this content on the YouLi side, it automatically appears here on your website. So that's one of the main things that we're trying to do, is actually reduce the amount of work that you have to do in terms of data entry, right? So you don't have to like put all this information on your website and put all this information in YouLi. The idea is you put it into YouLi, then you embed it into your website, right? That's where you really start to get the efficiency from that. And you get that great experience that not only do they see this content when they're being marketed to, but even after they book and register, this content is still available to them to look at on their personal version of this page. So I might jump in to kind of show you exactly how that works and really emphasize now the management side of this. So we've been talking about pages, right? And you could be forgiven for thinking that, it's just a landing page on a website. But it is so much more than that, right? That is what you see if you just land on it and you're anonymous. But once you register and book onto a trip, you become a person on the trip, right? So in this case, for example, Kate Middleton is coming with us to Morocco. So let's see what Kate's experience is with the traveler portal. So this is the trip page or the traveler portal. People call it their adventure hub or their retreat space or all those things. Now it says your spot is held, right? So it's already telling her something that she needs to know, which is that her spot is held for this trip. It gives her name and her avatar that she's chosen to enter here. So she knows this is her page, this is for her. And then from here, she can actually see, because she's registered and booked, and the planner has chosen to share this information, she can see the other people that are going on the trip. And if they've chosen to put in a little mini bio, that shows there. This can also be customized a bit as well. And you can turn it off if you want privacy rather than for people to sort of see each other. But again, because this is not a public page, we never show this publicly. We only show it to the people who are registered and booked onto this trip. And then she can click into her payment and she can see that she's booked, what she's booked onto, and she can also see what she's paid. So you can see that she still owes $200 and she's added on the bird watching extra. So she can toggle that on and off as long as it's before the due date of October 4th. And that will dynamically change how much she owes. And she can choose to make a payment. And let's say she chooses to pay by bank transfer. That's actually going to send you a notification to let you know that she sent that $200 to you. And then you can confirm when that hits your bank or whatever payment mechanism that you've told, maybe a Bitcoin wallet if you're feeling bold. And so here you can see she now owes $0. It's now a pending payment. And once you receive it, that'll get marked and show as green for her. And then she's immediately prompted to start going through her tasks. Oh, okay, I need to download my mobile app. So you can choose to keep that task. You can choose to delete it if you want to encourage it or not encourage it. Okay, great. I've downloaded my app. I went and did that on my phone. Oh, I have to do another thing. Hey, questions are, yeah, I love everything you're doing. Right, so you can prompt them to either, ask questions or share some things. That can be a really simple form like that one, or it can be a really complicated form, which includes more information, phone numbers, avatars, date of birth, mini bios. You can do, additional collection of data around dates, arrival dates, passport information. So for those of you who love forms, you will love the task system. But this is the way that your customers interact with it. And what's great about this is that that whole list is now appearing here. So she's got 9 out of 12 remaining, and she can hide the completed or show the completed. And she can also just go through this list. We automatically notify Kate when she needs to complete this. So this is due by October 30th. This one's due by November 29th. You set all of this. You decide what these tasks are, when they're due, and we automate those reminders for you. So we take care of the nagging on both the payments. So that $200 she owed, we sent her a reminder to come in and pay it. These tasks that she needed to complete, we sent her a reminder to do that. You do all the setup, and then we do the actual nagging at the right time to get them to give you all the information that they need, but also for you to give them the information that they need. So I showed you before on Run Wild Retreats, that example of, prepare to travel with the heart video. Watch a video, right? So you can require that they watch content leading up to it so that they are more prepared for the experience that you're going to deliver to them. So mix that kind of stuff in with the yeah, sorry, I need to get you to sign a waiver, right? Like, this is what your business requires. This is what your heart requires, right? Like this is why people are traveling. And so making sure to use this system for both the data entry side of it, but also the preparation, and maybe even, sharing the adventure. So gathering some photos for your own, social stuff, or just for your own awareness of great photos of kinds of the experiences that they've had on your trip. And then you can promote them after the retreat to leave you a review somewhere. So wherever you collect your reviews, you can drive them to that. So one of the really important things about our platform is that we are striving to give you the space to get done what you need to get done. And you get to reduce your checklist because we manage it for you. And then you basically get to sort of hand that off to your travelers, right? So you get to decide, okay, I'm going to make you guys go through this sequence of things. And then we make sure they go through that sequence of things. But the great thing is you can then see how they've gone through that journey. So here you can see I've got like 7% done on mobile app. I've got 12% done on dietary requirements. Let me just show you another one. That one's still new, but here's a good one. So we've got 100% done on the registration form, but we're still 33% done on book travel insurance. And here she's created the ability to do pending review. So she has indicated, okay, when someone says yes to travel insurance, I need to go and review that because I need to go process that request, right? So it kind of manages all that. So oh, I need to go do something in here because someone has responded to this. So it creates these sequences not only for them, but also for your team. And it gives you that sort of dashboard so you can know, instead of 2 days before the retreat going, did I send that email about travel insurance? I don't, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, right? But this tells you how many people have actually completed it, and allows you to click in and view their responses and actually follow up with anyone who hasn't based on the automated reminders, and make sure to do whatever work you need to do based on their responses. So that's one of the most important components of the YouLi platform, is the task capabilities and the way that that reflects onto the trip pages for your travelers. So the fact that they then see these tasks here, we have gotten so much feedback from travelers that they feel really relaxed because they know they've done everything. Like, that sense of like when you've checked everything off your to-do list, like you can give that gift to your travelers so that they know that they're ready for this because everything's green, right? And you know what that can feel like, to feel like I'm ready for this trip. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the kind of power of what these trip pages can be for your travelers, and how they're not just a website, they're not just a landing page, they're just so much more than that. All right, let's get some more questions.
Well, so many information, yeah, so much. Well, no, it's really interesting, absolutely. I think also, as Francesca told before, we can start with the first option for the moment. Then when we grow, we can absolutely match between the website and the tool you offer.
Yes, so you're saying you can absolutely do the just grab the share link, and then you can link that from a Book Now button. So you just come in here, you grab this link, and then you just have your Book Now button links to this link. So that's the simplest way to integrate. And then from there, you're done, like in terms of the tech work. Like that is literally all the tech work involved in that. And then from here, you're just gonna, take a look at your trip CRM, like who's booked in, who hasn't paid, who's paid in full. So this gets into like the reporting side of it, right? So you can see, okay, I've got 28,000 paid, I have 87,000 owing based on my registrations. Okay, Jen made a payment on the 9th of November. Did that come in? Yes, it did. Okay, great. I'm going to mark that as received, and I'm going to send a confirmation email to Jen that that's come in. So she knows, and then that goes green. And then, but we know that she still owes one more installment because she's booked in owing. And you can even jump in here and just filter and say, okay, show me the people who are booked in owing. Show me anybody who's pending. So yeah, I can go double check. Okay, did these payments come in to my bank or to wherever I've instructed them to make those transfers? So this is a little bit of extra work, but we recommend it because it avoids booking fees. So that's the, so yes, you do have to click this button, whereas with credit card payments, you don't have to do this piece, but you do pay the booking fees and the credit card fees. So, pros and cons, right? So we find a lot of clients definitely incentivize their travelers to do these pending payments, and it just takes one more check there to make sure that that's done.
Jen, and one more thing to add to this. You can, when you do the credit card, if this is your preferred method, if that's easier for you and your clients, you can also pass this surcharge to client and give them an option. It's like, hey, you can book this with a wire transfer from bank to bank for, let's say, $2,000. Or if you want, you can book it with credit card, but it will cost you extra $20. So it will give them a choice, and it's fair that they understand what they're paying for, and it's easier for you. It's like, okay, I don't care from my end, I still get my $2,000. The client is the one who pays that extra $20 for processing.
Absolutely. Okay. Yep. And so here you can see the different payment methods. So here's an example of the bank transfer. So I've called it bank transfer, and I've just given instructions, but you can change this to say, to use, what was the Spanish one, Francesca? Biso or something, beso. Yeah, so you can just put that in there. You can also link off to PayPal, paypal.me. You can give them instructions to call you. So if you have people who are, would much rather get on the phone with you, you can have them call you, and you can actually then make a charge for them. So if they call you and read the credit card, you can actually click here to make a charge. And so then you say, okay, I'm going to do 300, pay now. And then you say, okay, Michelle, just let me know what the credit card is. I'm sorry, I don't have my Stripe connected here, but there would be a credit card box here. So you can actually do a make a charge if you turn on that pay by phone feature.
Okay. So, and what about the cost for us to this tool? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So what we recommend is the Pro plan. And so it comes out to about $55 per month if you buy annual, or if you do monthly, it's $60 a month. And that's a 1% booking fee on credit cards. And like I said, we're running a special until the end of November that it also comes with the no fee options. So what I was just showing you is included in Pro, but you do have to sign up before the end of November. So that's the one we recommend for getting started. And then if you wanted the starter website, you would choose this option, which is just an extra $20 a month for that starter website. And we do the domain and all of that. And then it scales up from there. So at some point, if the booking fee gets too much and you're like Eleanor and you've got 25 trips running, you might want to look at one of our larger packages, which decreases your booking fees and just changes it to be a fixed fee. So this is, I know it might seem like a lot of money right now, but it actually, for the customers who are ready for that, it actually lowers their cost of using the product because they reduce their booking fees. And then ultimately we strive to support customers getting to the point where they can drop it to 0% if they want to grow that large, so that they can keep all their extra profit to themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'd recommend this one, and you can kind of click in to look at this and digest it in your own time. I recommend looking at the compare plans as well, because that'll really show you like what are all the features that are included in the different plans, and make sure that we support the things that you need. I know I've talked about a lot of stuff, but I actually haven't talked about everything that we do. Seems like a lot, but like I said, the point is it's all available to you, but you don't have to use it all. Most of our clients roll out with a brochure, and then they turn on bookings mode, and then they roll out a bunch of tasks, and then they embed it on their website, and then and that's like it's a journey that you go on to, oh, I need this feature now, oh, I need this feature now. You don't have to roll it all out at once. And one of the most popular packages that we have is actually a consulting an onboarding package. It's just it's like 3 hours, and we do hand holding, and we actually walk you through the whole process. So if you're looking to get started in a really safe and comfortable way, we do recommend buying an onboarding package, but we also give you a self-service option. So there's an onboarding link here, and it'll get sent to you when you register, and you can just completely onboard yourself by following the checklist that's included in that page. So we're here to help you, but we're also here to empower you to do it on your own, depending on what journey that you're on with the technology. So
yes, absolutely. Okay. Well, and if you need more information about the benefit on the different well, we have the first step, the second step, and so on. We can write to you when you send us the image I see now, or yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for more details about this.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're welcome to sign up for free. So to explore on your own, you can actually set up your page. So I'm just going to type that link in there, go.youli.io/retreats. If you click there and then sign up from there, you get an account, and you can start exploring. Like I said, we send you that automatic onboarding experience. You can then contact us in the chat and book in a call. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I sent that to the wrong place.
Yes.
You can then click on the help and book in a call with us. So I'll just share my screen one last time. Where am I? There I am. So we have a support team that's ready to kind of interact with you here. So you can always engage here to start that conversation. And so if you want, you can say, hey, I'm from Synergy and I would like my one-on-one conversation. And then they'll just get that booked in for you there. But yeah, first step is definitely to click into here and sign up with that link. And that just allows you to make a free account and get you started on that journey to explore that. So we would love to support you in discovering how this can really help you guys. Also happy to spend more time now if you have more questions.
So just to, so if we register, then we can see all the conditions that you just show us.
Mm-hmm.
To read it, to read it better and to think about, to consider all the possibilities.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get to log in. We give you a little sample trip that you can kind of play around with, and then you can make your own. I can actually send you links to off of this call to the pages that I showed you, the example clients, just so you can go and look at them and be inspired by what they've done. I know it seemed like, oh, this is different, they're all different. That's the point, right? Because you don't want to just look like everybody else. So so I think what's important is to be inspired by what other people are doing, and then sort of take that and figure out what makes the most sense for you.
Yeah, build up our style, let's say. One of the questions that I had that maybe is not so much in the technological part, but what about, I know that you have all this prepared, so all the tasks that people has to do before the trip or whatever, bring this even to a personal contact, in the sense that we normally, I'm used to talk with people. So they call me and they know through my voice if they want to come, through how I tell them the experience it is. So they need more information that is not just what I write on the page. They really, sometimes is really about connection again. So there is any way that we can have even a human contact, not only through, through, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So a lot of our clients use this sort of expression of interest as sort of like register to pay instead of the checkout flow. And that in that form, they require phone number. And then they just say on there, please register and give us your phone number and we'll call you. And sometimes the first task is actually to click and book a call with you. So you can actually just take them through a journey where they engage with you first. And only once you get them on the phone and speak to them, do you sort of send them back to the page. But again, it's the same page. So they can come back and pay when they're ready. So the idea is that you're creating this customer journey, right? So they've expressed their interest. They're not sure yet. They want to talk to you. You know that. That's why at the top of the page, you emphasize, we strongly recommend, having a conversation, please click express interest and then book in your call with us, or we'll call you, whatever your process is, right? You define that process, and then you go through that. And actually Sam Keller has an application process for his trips. So you can't just go on his trips. He requires that you actually complete a registration form, and then he makes sure that you're the right fit for the trip, because he doesn't want the wrong people, because he's trying to create an experience and the people are part of that experience, which I'm sure you're very aware of, right? Yeah, and so that's something that we strongly support, and that would be something we can do extra help with you in terms of an onboarding package to sort of guide you through the nuances of like, where do I put that here, or do I put that here? What step of the journey is the right place to put that text, and kind of figuring that out. But remembering that it's still just a matter of putting text in boxes. It's never, you're not coding and you're not editing a page. You're just, I want to put this text above the registration form. I want to put this text at the top of the highlights. I want to put this text in my terms and conditions with the payments, right? So it's just about, the text that goes in the right place for the right time in the customer's journey, and just perfecting that message so it's coherent when the customer kind of comes in and goes through that process.
So, and this for this task, for example, for these things, you support and say like, yeah, it's better to put this first and this after, or it's just okay, I think it's better to put this on top, or yeah, by your experience, you will guide us in making a, let's say, more coherent process. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you book in with us to do the onboarding, either Claire or Sean are in the sort of closer time zone to you, and so one of them would walk you through that process and try to understand what experience are you trying to create, and then they'll give you guidance from their perspective. But they may also send you to another client and say, actually, this client does something similar. Maybe reach out to them and sort of chat with them as well. We're also part of the TTC community. If you're part of the Transformational Travel Council at all.
No.
So we recommend that to a lot of our clients as well, because it's a great place to connect with other like-minded operators and agents and venues and all that kind of stuff. So we can certainly send more information to you about the Transformational Travel Council. And they have a public directory. So we'll send you the public directory so you can see who's in that community. And all of those people are really open. And so Sam Keller's part of that community, and he's, he launched his business in 2020 and he's built it off of that network in terms of, getting advice from people about how did you do this? How did you do this? What should I say here? What should I do here? And it's just been a really amazing thing to watch how much the community has empowered him to move really quickly towards getting his content right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I look forward to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to mention. Jen was covering the bank transfers as a no-fee payment option, and we mentioned that that option is valid until December 1st. So it is middle of November right now. There's about 2 weeks to sign up for that option. After that, it's going to be available on Venture only. Just wanted to bring this up to your attention. So if you do want to use that, use like a wire transfer or pay by phone kind of option, or PayPal option, I would strongly recommend to sign up before December 1st. And I know that you're new to this platform. It will take time. So you can sign up for free. There's no termination date for that. There's no expiration for that. You can use it for free for as long as you want to kind of explore it. But if you upgrade until December 1st, we have this special Black Friday deal to help you out on that. And we'll give you 4 months for 50% off, which will make it $30 a month. So you will have 4 months for $30 a month. Just see what's available, use all the premium features, use the mobile app, check it out, test it out yourself, how it works, use the set up the tasks, and there's way more tasks on that than on a free plan. And you can set up those bank transfers or pay by phone options. So if you do have clients right now, or you can just between yourself, you can test how it works for your area, for your region. You can see, how can you do it in Spanish? Can you do it in Italian? Does it work well? If there's something that's not working, and you get an extra onboarding session with that as well. So you have like a special discovery chat with our support team that's part of Synergy. And if you upgrade before December 1st, you also get another onboarding session with the support team. So it's a lot of benefit that you're giving away right now. So just saying, if something that interests you, if you want to do that, it may be worth $30 investment in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Thank you guys. Thank you guys. We will also send you. We'll also send you the replay, and we look forward to hearing from you to dig further into what we can do to make YouLi just right for you guys.
Thank you very much for your time. Brilliant. For the information is really,
informative. Yes, no, really interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and we will absolutely think about it, and we will let you know as soon as possible what we do, and if you need any extra information, of course, but we will study first.
Of course. Take your time. We understand the process. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, and have a great day too. Bye. Bye. Thank you